everyone, this is Renee from Angelic Comfort with your weekend outlook forecast for August 26th, 27th, and 28th of 2016. And what we have here is mending to the sea and blessed, okay? It's a weekend of mending. It's a weekend of fixing bridges that we may have burnt, fixing feelings and making people feel loved of those that we might have hurt in the past or those who have hurt us in the past, maybe trying to make amends. It's going to be a very emotional weekend. I mean, especially with the energy that we have. It's going to be very powerful, and you might even be hearing some things that you don't want to hear, and some things that you don't want to face, or things that you might have forgotten about. But it's a weekend where a lot of things are going to come to the surface. Not only things that we've already released from a place of love, but those things that don't come from a place of love are also going to be released and brought up. So it's going to make it a very emotional weekend for a lot of people. There might be some people upset at what they have to hear. There might be some laughter, but there's definitely going to be tears. It's going to be very emotional. And as you can see, out to sea, when we have out to sea, we're talking about somebody, she's kind of looking down. She's kind of like in the tub, kind of going with the flow and not really knowing the direction. She's sort of flowing there, and in some ways it can be really good. In other ways, I look at it, she's being in deep thought and trying to find her inner self again as all of this mending is going on. And it's really important to stay balanced and grounded, and again, feeling blessed for your different experiences and for what those are trying to say to you and what you're trying to say to other people. The listen card has been coming up a lot lately. And, we really need to put that into play that we've been hearing the last couple of weeks. Listen, the card isn't drawn, but I'm hearing that people really need to listen and listen from the heart, because things are going to be very emotional for a lot of people this weekend. And it could even put a little damper on things, because when you thought maybe that you were ready, maybe you're not ready to hear some of the stuff, or maybe others aren't ready. And then we have the Awakening card here, which I drew from another deck, and you need to really change the way that you're looking at the different situations. It's kind of like the Hanged Man in the regular tarot. You need to embrace your uniqueness, and there's a temporary pause in the action because, like I said, you might think you're ready, but other people might not be. Or maybe you think you're ready and you're really not. And so there's going to be some sort of a pause. And, you got to go with the flow. You got to go with the flow. But when we add up these numbers, the 52, the 12, the 22, and the 7, they come out to be the number 1, I believe. And let me see. And it's, amplified when, we add the zeros to the end of it and everything else. So we need to look at this. And the number 1, what it stands for in numerology is, and I got to find it here. I had it in the one book, and I've lost it. So I apologize. It means beginnings. It means courage and willpower. It means pride, obstinacy, and aggressiveness, and so this is where you really got to do a reality check on your own emotions, your own behavior, your own temper, and hopefully the others will too, because, there could be a victory, but you got to understand that there's going to be things said that maybe each other don't really want to hear or weren't ready for. So it's really important. It's going to be a very high emotional weekend for many people. Stay, centered and balanced. Go with the flow. Expect some setbacks possibly, or a pause. And, just go with the flow. That's all you can do. And what I'm going to do now is set up the cards for our love reading for the weekend, for our weekend forecast. Okay, and what I'm seeing here is meditation, trilogy of light, and fear. And when we talk about these cards, meditation, things are a little bit out of balance, with you, and you need to become centered. You need to meditate and listen to your inner voice, and make sure you're listening to the right inner voice. I mean, we have this problem where, sometimes we think we're hearing spirit when it's actually our mind. In the physical world, people can tend to get that a little bit mixed up, and that's okay, because, we are in a physical body, our spirit is, and, when we think about it, we need to make sure that we are grounded, that when we are meditating, that you're doing it right, and that you aren't going based on feelings and emotions, but hearing, actually hearing spirit and hearing your higher self, what's important. And, the triology is, I look at it as being the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are shining down. And as you meditate, you're going to radiate more light. You're going to vibrate at a higher vibrational level. But fear, in a lot of senses, is stopping people when it comes to relationships or expressing themselves. And I have a cat who just totally wanted to be a part of this, and I totally apologize. She's a little bit stubborn there, but I'll put these back up and fix it. There we go. So when we talk about this, fear, whether with any relationship with self or with other people, it can hold us back, and it brings us out of balance. And this is what we're talking about here, is finding your balance here with this card. Very, very important to find your balance when it comes to relationships or those that you're working in. The energies are high. We're getting ready to go into Mercury retrograde on the 30th, which is going to affect communication and the way that people see things. So we need to make sure that we are centered and balanced, because, like I said, what we thought maybe isn't how we've been seeing things clearly, and it does. It means balance and consideration, your receptiveness, choices. There's going to be opposition, possibly negligence, and that's what number 2 stands for. So it's going to be a rough weekend. It's a rough weekend for everybody, not just on the mending part with everything, but mending all the way around. And again, things might not, as with yesterday's reading for the last couple of days, those of you who have started a new path, it might have been premature, or maybe not as you thought as you started out, or you're on this path, considering the consequences. So that's what we have for the love and romance part of the weekend, is staying balanced and grounded, meditate, releasing fear, and I feel a lot of communication for a lot of people, but balance is the important thing, most important. And then we have here, with the money and the law of attraction, whatever I am feeling good, I am attracting good. And this is what we have been working on for the last couple of weeks, is that it's very important to feel good about yourself. It's very good to feel good with your thoughts, to stay positive, because when it comes to finances or just drawing in anything from the law of attraction, from the universal law of attraction, you need to really feel good and be positive, and positive thoughts, and do positive things. The actions are very important too, because you keep your vibrational energy up, but also you're putting that energy out to the universe, and that's what comes back to you. So for the weekend, I want everybody to worry about themselves. Whenever you're feeling good, you're attracting good. So feel good about yourselves, love yourselves unconditionally, have positive thoughts, have positive actions, positive communication, stay as positive as you can. If you feel you're getting negative, I always say to my angels and guides, I say, please retract anything, transmutate it into something positive. If I put it out, reverse it for me if I'm, feeling any bit negative at all. And it usually works very well, and it gets me right back on track. So we're all human, right? Living this human experience and being in these physical bodies. So, you're going to make mistakes, and it's all good, but just make sure you catch your mistakes and make sure that you keep moving forward. And this has been your weekend outlook forecast for August 26th, 27th, and the 28th. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you who watch these videos throughout the week. I hope that they help you. I'm very humbled and thankful for all of the comments and responses that I do get back from everybody, whether it be in private message or underneath the videos themselves. I'm humbled by each and every one of you. And I do hope that I am making a difference in your lives. But, in the meantime, stay strong, everybody. It's going to be a rough weekend for some of you. And, just stay grounded and balanced and go with the flow. Okay? Because there's choices to be made and things to be heard and things to be said. So I'm wishing you all a weekend that is additionally full of love, laughter, and an abundance of blessings. Remember, you have many blessings every day when you wake up. Okay? Breathing is the first one. So be grateful. I love you all. Have a great weekend. Namaste.